Adi Paschatya Deshkarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so we go into the sixth chapter. The sixth chapter basically deals with Dhyana Yoga. So this is again about the karma, this continuing with Karma Yoga, right? So because the first six chapters deals with Karma Yoga, and then slowly from sixth chapter, Krishna takes you to the seventh chapter, which is Bhakti Yoga starts there. So sixth yoga basically about Ashtanga Yoga, right? And then in the end of the chapter, Krishna says, Yoginam abhisarvesha matka denandarathana shraddhavan vachade yoma same mukta tamo mataha. Out of all the yogis, those who do Bhakti Yogena, right? And that is the best yoga. Others are all indirectly worshipping Krishna. So Dhyana Yoga or advancing in Ashtanga Yoga. There are two stages, Aruruksha and Aruda. So the chapter takes you from one part of Ashtanga Yoga. There is Yama, Niyama and all that. And towards the end, there is Samadhi actually. So in chapter 5, Krishna is actually describing how to attain liberation by Nishkama Karma Yoga, right? And now he is trying to take you to Ashtanga Yoga. In chapter 6, he describes Ashtanga Yoga in greater details as a means to control the mind and senses. So by discussing Ashtanga Yoga in detail, Lord Krishna established it as impractical and difficult to follow. That's what later on. And then he says that you have to go to Bhakti Yoga. So in chapter 6, verse 1 to 4 is about advancing in yoga through detached work. Ashtanga yogis like Nishkama Karma yogis engaging in detached work to advance. Okay, so we'll see that. So 6.1 he says, what is the criteria of perfect sannyasi and a perfect yogi? Shri Bhagavan Vaja Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti ya sa sannyasi cha yogi cha nani regnir na chakriya. The Supreme Personality of God said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who work as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life, and he is a true mystic. Now, he who lights no fire and performs no duty. Not he who lights no fire and performs his duty. So, a perfect sannyasi and a perfect yogi. Okay, sometimes we get confused. So, sannyasi just doesn't mean he renounced everything. He can use everything in Krishna's service. Prabhupada was a sannyasi. Prabhupada have gone through all the ashrama, no? He was a brahmachari, he became a grihastha, then he went to Vanaprastha in Vrindavan, later on took sannyas. In sannyas itself, there are so many stages. The last stage is like Paramahamsa stage, okay, where there is complete detachment of everything. So, Karma Yoga is better than Ashtanga Yoga in one way because Ashtanga Yoga means to control the mind and senses. And it's very difficult, right, in Kali Yuga. Later on in this chapter, Arjuna itself says, Arjuna compares the mind to what? I mean, controlling the mind to what? Yes, Neetu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, to the wind.
To the wind. Yes. So he says it's very difficult to control the mind than controlling the wind, right? Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramadi balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manni vayoriva sudushkaram. It's very difficult than controlling the winds. That's what he says, right? So in Kali Yuga, especially in Kali Yuga, controlling the mind and senses is very difficult. So Ashtanga Yoga has before Samadhi, there is meditation, dhyana and all. And without controlling your mind and senses, we can't do dhyana. Okay. So one who desires to practice Ashtanga Yoga should not suddenly give up the prescribed duties that purify his heart. Because Karma Yogi renounces the result of his action, that is Nishkama Karma Yoga, and he is called a sannyasi because his mind doesn't dwell on the enjoyment of sense objects. He is called a yogi. Okay. So real success is satisfaction of Krishna. When we do any service, we have to see that Krishna is pleased. Even chanting has to be done to please Krishna. So a Krishna conscious person have no desire for self-satisfaction. His criteria of success is satisfaction of Krishna. This is what Mahaprabhu says in Shishtashtaka, right? Nadanam na janam na sundari kavitam va jagadisha kami mama janmani janmanishware bhavadat bhakti rahaiduki. So Mahaprabhu is rejecting dhanam, that is wealth, Janam, that is followers. Sundarim, a beautiful woman. And he wants Mama Janmani Janmani Pavadar Bhakti. He wants devotion. He is rejecting one more thing here. What is that? What is Mahaprabhu rejecting here? Okay. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, moksha, liberation. Life
Yeah.
after life wants devotional service.
Yeah, why is he rejecting moksha? He is Supreme God himself.
Because a pure devotee of the Lord doesn't want to go to heaven or hell. He doesn't want to.
No. My question is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and he is already liberated. So why is he rejecting liberation? That's my question. Okay, for pure devotees, they don't want liberation. They are happy in devotions. But this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prayer. Yes, Deepti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, like pure devotee always want to serve Krishna.
No, my question is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praying? He is Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, no? Prith Prabhu.
Set an example, Mataji.
Very nice. To set an example, yes. So he has come in the form of devotee, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though he's Bhagavan Krishna, he has come in the form of Bhakta. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam. He has come in Bhakta Rupa. Bhakta Avataram Bhakta Kya Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. That's what Panchatattva is. So he has come in Bhakta Rupa form, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though Krishna, he came in a form of a devotee, right? So when he came in a form of a devotee, he wants to set an example saying that this is what a pure devotee wants. He doesn't even want liberation. Janmani, Janmanishwari means what? Birth after birth. That means he wants to take rebirth again and again. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur also wants to take rebirth. He says, does anyone know? He wants to take birth as what? Yes, Devika Mataji.
As a devotee to serve Krishna, no, Mataji.
Yeah, as a devotee in whose house? Not as a devotee. He wants to, in a devotee's house, he wants to take birth in a devotee's house in form of insect. Okay. Like Devika Mataji. So your name is Devika BT or Shetty? Both.
Mataji, academic it is BT only.
So your certificate should have
BT. Mataji.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because it's very important to have your right name in the certificates, because last time 2 certificates we had to resend again because of the change in the name. Because later on, when you need it later on during anything, secondary session or anything, they'll check the name. Okay, so as she told me, he wanted to become a devotee in next life, but in a form of an insect. Even if I become an insect, it's okay, but it should be in a devotee's house. Why? Because if there is an insect in your house, it can hear Harinam. It can, some prasada might fall on the ground. It can taste the prasada. Or there'll be kirtan going on. Or some devotees can come to your house. Something, some way or the other, they can get devotee association. So this is what Tadeyara Charana Hoye Bhakti Janevas Janema Janema Hoye Yehi Abhinash. So that's what Narottam Das Thakur have said. That life after life, I want to be with devotees. I want to be in devotee association. So second sloka says about relationship between sannyas and yoga. Okay, detached action is same as renunciation because both require freedom from desire for sense gratification. So Krishna explains about sannyasi and the yogi. Yam sannyasam idipra yogam tam vitti pandava nahi asanyashta sankalpo yogi bhavati kashana. What is called renunciation? You should know to be the same as yoga or linking oneself with the Supreme. O son of Pandu, for one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. That's what is important, no? You've seen that famous picture, a sannyasi having a mobile phone and smoking cigarette. So outside, yes, he's a sannyasi, he have a saffron cloth and all that. But he has a mobile phone, and okay, if he uses that mobile phone in Krishna service to preach Krishna consciousness, that's fine. But then For sense gratification, if they use, then it's just a pretender. He's just like doing Falgu Vairagya, like outside just making a show. The real sannyasi yoga or bhakti means implies knowledge of one's constitutional position, that we are part and parcel of Krishna. That is our constitutional position. And conditioned state means we are entrapped in material energy or Maya. So real nature is when living entity is Krishna conscious. So it's actually it's your relatives, friends who are not devotees, they might say, oh, you're mad because you're always chanting Hare Krishna, and you're always busy with bhakti. Actually, Prabhupada says they are mad. Why? Because we are in a real stage. Otherwise, the material disease is compared to what disease? Does anyone know? Which disease, like this material disease of forgetting Krishna and being in the material world, is compared to which disease? Famous analogy. Don't know. This material existence. We are in this material world, we are suffering, and we don't have taste in Krishna Katha, Krishna glories is compared to which is the yes, Santosh Prabhu.
Jaundice, Mataji.
Very nice, excellent. Jaundice. Why, Prabhu? Why is it compared to jaundice? Yeah, Sharon Prabhu also got it right. Why jaundice? There's so many diseases, but why
Because
Of taste.
we can't taste the sweet when there is jaundice.
Yes,
The
very nice.
bitterness will come. In the same way,
It's a-
when performing Krishna consciousness,
Yes,
if the person is not 100% doing Krishna consciousness, he will get a taste of bitterness. He won't taste the real things.
So, yes, Sharon Prabhu. So, what is the treatment for this? For this material existence like jaundice?
Yes, as mentioned, it's sugar candy, Mataji. That's the
Yes.
only solution.
So, when a
remedy.
jaundice person takes sugar candy, will he feel the taste?
No, Mataji, he has lost
No.
all his sense of taste.
Yeah.
Mataji.
Then
So
slowly,
similarly,
as he
Harinam.
takes. Yeah. So, Harinam. So, what happens? This material existence is compared to jaundice. Why? Because in jaundice, you won't get any taste. Even if you have sugar candy, you will think it's bitter. Similarly, in this material existence, when we hear Harinam, when we hear Harikatha, you won't feel the taste. I still remember my ringtone was this thing, the Hare Krishna Bhajan by Srila Prabhupada. So the classic tune by Srila Prabhupada. So once it was ringing, and one of my colleagues, so it was ringing, and I thought I purposely didn't pick the call because I thought let everyone hear Prabhupada's Hare Krishna. At least let them get purified, or at least let them become fortunate in Ajnada Sugriti, next life, become devotees. So let them hear. So I was purposely didn't pick the call, and even though I was a little free, so it was going on ringing. My colleague was really irritated, and she couldn't even take that sound of Srila Prabhupada, who's a pure devotee. And instead, if it was a movie song, they would have enjoyed it. No? They would have told me to play it again and again. So I kept it there so that let them hear it. So then I was thinking, how come the Prabhupada's tune is very famous in ISKCON? One devotee, they came and they kept on asking for some bhajan, and they were not getting. They showed different bhajans of different Maharaj and different tunes, and then finally they showed the CD of Srila Prabhupada's singing, and they're like, this is so good. So they took that bhajan by Srila Prabhupada. So because it's so attractive, but this for people who are not devotees, they can't take Harinam or Harikatha or Kirtan. They feel it's bitter. In the sense, they don't get the taste. So the treatment for jaundice is sugar candy. You keep giving sugar candy, even though it's tasting bitter. Slowly, the jaundice get cured, and at one point, you will start getting the sugar taste. Then you realize your jaundice is gone. Similarly, the only treatment for material disease is hearing Harikatha again and again and again. So when you hear Harikatha, what happens? All the material disease and desires gets washed away, and slowly we get attracted to Krishna. Then we know our disease is getting cured. Yes, Rajalakshmi Mataji? That's something? Okay. So that's our real nature. So real nature is we are attracted to Krishna, we are Krishna conscious. So, a stage of complete knowledge is when living entity ceases all sensory, sense gratificatory activity and act according to spiritual constitution. So, yogis achieve the state by restraining the senses from material attachment. Now, for a yogi, this laptop, mobiles, and all are Maya. They don't want to come into this Maya. But for a devotee, they are constantly engaged in Krishna conscious activities. There is no opportunity to engage the senses in anything other than Krishna, because always engaged. One thing or the other, might be a devotee is cooking, bhoga, and then offering, taking as prasadam, or chanting his rounds, or might be serving some devotees, or doing something, kirtan, or attending Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita classes. So always they are engaged in Krishna conscious activities. So that is also samadhi, actually. Actual samadhi means to be involved, engrossed in Krishna conscious activities. So real aim of life is to give up all selfish satisfaction and to be prepared to satisfy the Supreme. Tetta sadharmam charanam vijam harer. So our real goal of life is to satisfy Krishna, right? And who fails in this aim is one with no information of the Supreme. They engage in selfish activities, and only a Krishna conscious person who has no desire for sense enjoyment always engage for the enjoyment of the Supreme. Okay, whatever that Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, it says. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam means no other desire except to serve Krishna. That's a pure stage. Okay, we are all not into that stage because we still have desires. Everyone have desires. Our desires are not completely purified, right? We have so many other desires also, but we try to involve Krishna in the middle. That is what are the two types of grihastha, and what is the opposite of grihastha? Ms. Neetu Mataji.
Mataji, Grihmedi.
Who is a Grihamedi?
Grihmedi who only do the sense gratification, who only lives for themselves. They don't do any. Krishna is not the center of their life.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get confused. Like somebody have told Brahmachari. That's the 4 ashram and varnas. Don't get confused. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. That's an ashram. First 25 years of life, 20-25, it's Brahmachari life, where you're not married and you can get into training in ISKCON as a Brahmachari. For first 5 years, you're trained. Those are the devotees who wear white and white, Prabhus. Then as you get trained in Brahmachari ashram, you feel like, no, I can't stay in a Brahmachari ashram. I need to get married. Some kind of desire comes. It's welcomed, actually. It's not a sin of Brahmachari becoming a Grihastha. It's normal. It's okay. You can take 2 paths. Either you can become a Grihastha or you can become a Naishtik Brahmachari. Okay, that means you decide not to get married at all. And they continue in saffron. But others, they can take a Krishna conscious girl, in the sense a partner who will help you. Like there is a big rock, okay, stone, and you need to push it up from a top of a mountain down. So if you are trying it alone, it's steep hill and you're trying alone to push the hill, the rock from the hill, you're not able to do. So you take someone's help. What is wrong in it? That person is also going to push the same stone. So you take that help and both of you together push the stone, and it will fasten your progress, and then you get delivered. So similarly, accepting a Krishna conscious partner is also good for your spiritual advancement if you are a Grihastha devotees. So Brahmachari is the life where there is you have celibacy and you decide. So after that, you can go to Grihastha ashram, may or may not. It's up to you. So if you take Grihastha ashram, nothing is wrong. So Guru Maharaj says, either you should be a Brahmachari following the rules and regulations, or you should be a Grihastha. You should not be in the middle. Brahmachari having some relationship. No. Then you are Brahmastra. That's what he says. Because you're not neither following a Brahmachari ashram rules, neither you're following Grihastha rules. So Grihastha ashrama means husband and wife being devotees, chanting, offering bhoga, taking prasada, having a Krishna conscious life centered around Krishna. Okay. So that's Grihastha ashrama. And Grihamedi is the opposite, which Mother said that Prahlad Maharaj says, just for sense gratification. Eating, mating, sleeping, deathing, nothing else. There is no God in that. So it's like Bhavan. Bhavan means the house, right? So in Bhavan, Bha stands for Bhagavan. So if you take Bhagavan from Bhavan, it becomes one. And one means forest, where all wild animals live. So the house which doesn't have Bhagavan is like a one. All animals there for sense gratification. Even hogs and dogs can do that. But human form of life only can have devotion or bhakti. So it's okay. Sometimes the partner is not in Krishna consciousness. It's okay. It's fine because it's totally karma, right? You don't know. Might be that soul will take some more janmas to become devotees, or because of you, that soul might get a chance to become devotee next life. And your path, each soul's path for liberation is different. You can't, but if you're not married before coming to Krishna consciousness, you get a special chance to decide to have a Krishna conscious partner. But it's always good. If a girl is in devotee, should definitely get married to a devotee itself, because the whole life changes if they marry karmis, because they won't allow to chant, and there's so many other problems, right? And so many devotees have suffered because of that. But converting a non-devotee to a devotee, that is actually a good challenge, a great challenge. And that's a great approach. So that is Grihastha Ashrama. Okay, that is Grihastha. And Grihamedi is the opposite, just for sense gratification. And Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas, these are the 4 orders of social life. Okay, you can be either Brahmachari or Sannyas or Grihastha or Vanaprastha based on the ashrama you follow. Nothing wrong. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's 90% of associates were Grihasthas. Doesn't mean only you have to become a Brahmachari or Sannyasi to get liberation. No, even Grihasthas can go back. But it should be Grihastha Ashram, not Grihamedi. Third and fourth slokas talks about the 2 levels of yoga practice, that is Yoga Ruruksha stage, that's the beginning, and Yoga Ruda stage, which is the advanced stage. The yoga means what? Connecting to God. Different types of yoga you have heard, right? In that, the best is Bhakti Yoga, right? Why? In the yoga ladder, if you take Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, all that, Bhakti Yoga is in the topmost. Why? Why do you say that Bhakti Yoga? Can somebody else answer who never answered today? I want all participation. Why Bhakti Yoga is in the topmost? Yes,
Because it
Kusumalata
is the
Mataji.
easiest method.
Easiest? Okay. And any other?
And bhakti can be done easily. Bhakti can be done easily.
Yeah, that's what he told. It's easy. Then Sharanya Mataji.
Mataji, it is the prescribed Bhakti Yoga is prescribed in Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna
Okay, it's
Mahamantra.
prescribed. Yeah, it's a prescribed method. Suvina Mataji.
One get cleaned of all the material desires. That's why it is the supreme.
Okay, overcame all material desires. Okay. Yes, Rajlakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare-
Mataji, it is very easy because we can chant, going to temple, making prasada, everything is a devotional process.
No, my question is not why it's easy. My question is why it's in the topmost of the ladder. Yes, Prabhu.
Riksha Mataji, we have less life as compared to other yogas. So Bhakti Yoga is like a very, very good chance to go to God.
Still, I didn't get the right answer. Deepthi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, ultimately, Dhyan Yoga and all yogas connect you to the Bhakti Yoga. So,
Okay.
like in a Dhyan Yoga, you get the Paramatma, you get to know the Paramatma, and after Paramatma, you should know the like Bhagwan. So,
Okay, Sumit Prabhu. We'll take a couple of
Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji. We are directly serving the Lord in Bhakti Yoga.
So, yeah, you're close to the answer. We're directly serving, so yes. Yes, Devika Mataji.
In Bhakti Yoga, I think when we are in Bhakti, Krishna is centered for every of our activities.
Yes. Yeah, you're all right. But why is it topmost? Topmost. Neeta Mataji. In the yoga ladder.
Mataji, as Prabhu said, like we have direct relation with the Lord. It's just like an elevator, right? In one life, we can go to the back to Godhead.
One life. In one life, you can go back home, back to Godhead. Very good. Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga will take you lifelong. See this process of Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam. Okay, you can do all that in one life. Pratyahara, withdrawing the senses. Dharana, fixing your mind on the form. Dhyana and Samadhi. It's not easy to reach Samadhi in one life. And Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult. Klesho Atikadharastesham. Krishna himself says in this chapter, it's very difficult to go through this process because it takes life after life. But in Bhakti Yoga, in one life, you can go back. Work home, back to Godhead. Who was that? Any example? In one life, they went back to Godhead. Any example from Shastra? So that's why Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. Because in one life, it's like an elevator, as Madhu said. Just press the button. It's gone. And other yoga system are like steps.
Mataji, Ajamila?
Very good, Ajamila. Okay, yes, Dhruv Maharaj, Ajamila. Then who else? In one life, went back home, back to Godhead.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad.
Ambarisha.
Ambarish Maharaj. Tukaram. Same Tukaram. Katvanga Maharaj.
Mataji.
Yeah, can you unmute?
Haridas Thakur, Mataji.
Haridas Thakur, yeah, they're all already liberated souls. Okay, yes. So in one life, you can go back home, back to Godhead, right? That's why Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. It's easy to perform, as you all said, it's easy. And as others said, yes, directly connecting to Bhagavan, Krishna is in the center, that's fine. So that means no more coming back, no more falling down. But the main reason is other yogas, they are step, like ladder means a step to reach to the highest position. Why do you take a ladder? To go to that high place. So, or you have a big building which has like 150 floors. And can you go through the steps? How long will it take? How lot of energy is wasted? And in between, you might trip and fall. Right? In the elevator also, there is chance of power failure, all that. That means you should be very careful in Maya. Maya can trick you in Krishna consciousness. But one button you press. What is that one button? What is that button you need to press?
Surrender to the Supreme Personality.
Okay. But what is that button? Surrender and all is like a big term. Yeah, Harinam. Okay, Harinam. The Hare Krishna mantra is the button. Unless you press it, unless you chant it, you can't go back. Srila Prabhupada was a Shakyavish avatar of the Lord. He has come from the spiritual world to deliver us. So he definitely went go back. So he's we can't take him as a right example in the sense he's already liberated soul. He just appears to do some pastime to take the fallen conditioned soul back home at the Godhead. Okay. So in Ashtanga Yoga, these are the practice. Yama means what are the don'ts? Okay, you should not do that, should not do this. Niyama means the rules. Asana means the body posture, how the posture should be. And pranayama is breathing exercise. Pratyahara is withdrawing the senses from sense objects. Then they have to fix your mind and senses. Then is dharana and fixing. Then dhyanam is meditating on the Lord, and samadhi, complete absorption. In Bhakti Yoga also, the samadhi can be attained. That's why when we say all the acharyas, they leave their body, we say they want to samadhi, and we have their samadhi also, right? That means samadhi in the sense completely absorbed in Krishna. So a position of a Krishna conscious person is a Krishna conscious person, however, is situated from the beginning on the platform of meditation because he always think of Krishna. And being constantly engaged in the service of Krishna, he is considered to have ceased all material activities. So even Haridas Thakur was like that. He was completely chanting and eating and sleeping. It was all temporary for him, very external. Otherwise, he's completely absorbed in Krishna's service. So by engaging in Krishna's loving service, one is always pleased in himself and is no longer engaged in sense gratification. Krishna conscious person can do everything for Krishna's satisfaction. Thus, he perfectly detached from sense gratification. Without Krishna consciousness, senses always need engagement, right? And without Krishna consciousness, they automatically engage in sense gratification. So mind is like a genie. Once a boy got this lamp and he kept rubbing and genie came out. So what is the thing of the genie is that you should keep telling some work to the genie. Genie, do that, genie, do this. If you stop telling the genie to do something, the genie will eat you up. So now what to do? So initially the boy was very happy. Genie, I want a lot of chocolates. I want ice cream. I want that. The genie will do everything in 1 second. Now the genie is like, what should I do now? What should I do? So you don't have any other work. So the genie was about to eat him up. So he went and told his mother, now what to do? Now I'm in trouble. The genie wants to get engaged always. Now what work will I give? Because there is a limit, no? Night and all, I can't keep telling the genie, do that, do this. I need to sleep. Now what to do? So the mother was so intelligent. The mother said, okay, you take a pole, in the sense a big stick-like thing, and then ask the genie to climb up and then come down. Climb up, come down, until and unless I tell the second next job or next service. So the genie listened, and he went and climbed up the pole, came down, climbed up, came down, went on doing that. And this boy went and aramse slept because he tricked the genie. And the genie was going up, coming down, going up, coming down, thinking that the master, the boy will say the next service soon. But it was going on doing, that's the order he got from the master. So the boy got up in the morning and then told the genie to do some work. Again, he told, climb up and down, up and down. So this is like the mind. The genie here is like a mind. The mind needs constant engagement. Otherwise, it becomes crazy. Right? Empty mind is devil's workshop. It keeps thinking so many negative things in life. So if it's constantly engaged in a higher purpose, then there is no time, there is no gap for negative thoughts. So this is what a constant engagement in Krishna consciousness means. What? If you're not engaged in Krishna, if you're not serving Krishna, you're serving Maya. That's what Prabhupada says. Somebody told Prabhupada, sometimes I fall to Maya. Now what to do? What did Prabhupada reply? Does anyone know? Kirti Mataji.
Mataji, Prabhupada said, no, you're always in Maya, only sometimes you're away from Maya.
Yeah. So he said, I am always in Krishna consciousness, sometimes I fall to Maya. Prabhupada's like, no, it's the other way around. You're always in Maya, sometimes you fall to Krishna consciousness. In the sense, sometimes we chant, sometimes we do kirtan, sometimes we go to temple, sometimes we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. That time we are in Krishna consciousness. Rest of the time we are in Maya only. That's true. So next 5 and 6 says, mind is both one's friend and worst enemy. This all of you would have experienced, right? You should actually trick the mind. Namish Prabhu used to say, you should be more strict with the mind. Become more strict. First time, second time, third time, the child keeps crying again and again. Now there's attention deficiency syndrome they have. They need attention. If nobody is giving them attention, they make some kind of tantrums. They keep crying. And first day you ignore, second day you ignore, third day you ignore, the child will automatically stop crying. Because he knows mother and father both are not bothered. Why am I wasting my time? Why am I crying? Because it understands, oh, I'm not. But the first time when he cries, when mother and father runs and go, the child will take it as an advantage and then keep crying to get things done. But if the mother and father start avoiding, ignoring, the child automatically keeps quiet. Similarly, the mind, you keep giving it more and more attention, it will start looking in and it will become your worst enemy. But the more you ignore it, avoid it, ignore, keep ignoring, then mind will keep quiet. It can't do anything now. So 5 and 6 says, Udaret Atma, Atman Atmanam Natmanam Avashayatayet, Atmaiva hi Atmano, Bandur Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. One must deliver himself with the help of the mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. There's a friend in the sense for a controlled. So who is called as the controlled of the senses and mind? What is the term used?
Intelligence.
Yogi.
Goswami.
Goswami, good. And what's the opposite of Goswami?
Godas.
Godas, good. So we are all Godas in the sense we have been controlled by our mind and senses. Now, Rishikesha is master of senses. That is Krishna. We are called as Godas in the sense. Gos means senses also. So Godasa. We are the dasa of our senses and mind. Goswamis is somebody who have controlled their mind and senses. So if you control mind becomes your friend. It follows the dictation of the super soul. It detached from sense gratification, and that mind will elevate us. An uncontrolled mind is our worst enemy because it follows dictation of lust, anger, and illusion, and is attached to sense gratification. It degrades us and entangles us. So what should we do? We have to draw the mind away from sense objects and control and make it a friend in discharging the mission of human life. We can't artificially do it. Artificially, we can't take control. We have to practice devotional service. That's the best way to disentangle the mind, is always engage the mind in Krishna consciousness. Perfect surrender to Lord's dictation follow automatically in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so can you discuss the practical method of mind control? Practical application. What else you can do to have a nice controlled mind? After that, we'll close the attendance link. Okay. Just discuss few points for mind control techniques. There are so many other techniques also. Okay. The best practical way so that it helps all of us. Hi Krishna, Sona back. Okay. Mataji, you can post attendance link. So that they can. Okay, we'll take the discussion towards the end. Okay, we'll just. So importance of training the mind is to deliver the conditioned souls from the material existence, right? Then only we will be able to. And one is subject to the influence of mind and senses in material existence. And pure soul is entangled in the material world because the mind is involved and there is desire to load to our material nature. So what should we do? Train so that one should not be attracted by the nature of the material nature and the conditioned soul should be saved. Should not be degraded, right, by attraction of sense objects. And mind attached to sense object is a cause of bondage. And mind detached from sense object causes liberation. Please mark the attendance link. And we have seen that some of you have given the attendance, but then you don't wait for the submission to happen. Immediately you come back to the class. So the submission really doesn't happen. So just wait for 2 minutes. Let that response come that you have submitted and then you try to come back. So Yogaruda stage means a person who has controlled mind will be neutral to all material existence and duality. So a mind is a friend of a controlled person, controlled mind is a friend, and that person is completely neutral to all material existence and dualities, and he sees everything equal, like pebble, gold, stone, etc., and fully satisfied by yajna. And so does anyone know a story like this? Somebody who's seeing gold and stone equally? Who was that? I'll give a clue. Any Goswami?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Sharan Prabhu.
Mataji, Rupa Goswami. He had a touchstone.
His brother, Sanatana Goswami. Okay,
Sanatana
yes,
Goswami.
you're right. He had a touchstone. Then what happened?
Prabhuji had come for him asking for greatest wealth, what he had. So someone has told him that Sanatana Goswami has it. And then when he went, he had it in this trash. So he was like, if he had, that means Sanatana Goswami has something bigger than the touchstone. So he said, first throw it in the water. And then he says, Shri Krishna's Bhakti, Hare Krishna, is the biggest wealth.
Yeah. So it was actually Lord Shiva, because Sanatana was, that Brahmana was Lord Shiva's devotee. So he told, I want some wealth to get my daughter married and all. So Lord Shiva said, go to Sanatana Goswami in Vrindavan. So when the Brahmana went there, Sanatana Goswami showed the trash can and said, there's a touchstone there, you can take it. Touchstone in a trash can. So the Brahmana took it, but on the way back to his home, he was thinking, if Sanatana Goswami has thrown this touchstone in the trash, he might be having something better than this or greater wealth. So he came back to Sanatana Goswami and Sanatana Goswami is like, throw the stone in Yamuna and come back, take a dip and come back, I'll give you the greatest wealth. And what was that greatest wealth? Harinam. Gologara Premadan, Harinam Sankirtan, it said. So the greatest wealth of all wealth is Harinam. And that was given. So that means Sanatana Goswami have seen a gold and a touchstone, or in the sense, normal stone and gold equally. Because otherwise, why did he put it in the waste can, trash, trash can? So this is why what a pure devotee is. We can't imitate, but that's a pure devotional stage. And the most advanced stage that is, okay? So then goal for every living entity is to abide by the dictation of the Supreme Personality Godhead, who seated at everyone's heart as Paramatma. So when the mind is misled by the external illusionary energy, that's Maya, one become entangled in material activity. So he said, Krishna Buliya, Jiva Bhogavajjakare, Pashatiya Mayakare, Japatiya. Krishna Buliya, forgetting Krishna, Jiva Bhogavajjakare, the Jivas are doing Bhogavaja, means sense gratification. Then what happens? Pashatiya Mayakare, Maya will be around you, she'll capture you. Because when we are not in Krishna consciousness, Maya captures us. Okay, so mundane scholarship is not enough. Actually, book knowledge is just theoretical knowledge without realization will be useless. And how do you realize Krishna? Other Shri Krishna Namadi Namba Vigrahim Indriye Seven Mukhe Jivado Swayam Eva Swaratira. It's not easy to understand Krishna. It's an Nama Adi. How do you realize Krishna? What is the order of realizing Krishna? There are four levels or four, not Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, but there is four categories. Yes, Sharan Prabhu?
Sorry, Mataji, is it Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam?
No, that's devotional services. This is
Sorry,
Krishna can be realized in four ways, on the sense the order of realizing. Neetu Mataji?
Mataji, I don't know. Maybe Atha Jigyasu Arthati.
No, I mean, see, first clue is Nama. First is name. Next is
Nama
Hare
Bhas.
Krishna Mataji,
Nama
Leela.
Bhas.
no, not Leela.
Form,
Form, good.
form,
Then
past tense, then
past time is last.
activities.
So Nama Rupa Guna Leela. This is how Krishna reveals to you. Name, form, quality, person. Like first you know the name of Krishna. You start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. First you know my name. Then you know my form, how I look. Similarly, first you know Krishna's name. Then you know how he looks. In the sense, first Krishna's name or name will reveal to you. Next, your form will reveal to you. Then Guna, the qualities. Then past time. Past time is last. Sometimes when devotees chant Hare Krishna, they will artificially try to think about Krishna's past time. Oh, Krishna killing Putana and do that, do this. That's wrong. But Gauragishwara Das Babaji says, that is Prabhupada's Param Guru. He says, we should not artificially try to think of Krishna's past time. It should come automatically. It will. When you come in a Bhava stage, Prema stage, last stage, it will come. But till then, it's not easy to think. So, Nama Adi means Nama Rupa Gunalila. Name, form, quality, past time. This is how Krishna reveals to you. Napavid Grahi means it's not to be revealed, to be understood by material senses. Seven Mukhehi Jihvada. What should we do? We should do devotional service with our tongue. That is eating Krishna Prasad and chanting the Harinam. Swayam Eva Swarati. Krishna reveals on its own. We can't force Krishna. Hey, Krishna, I want to know about you. Come. And Krishna won't come. Krishna reveals when he's satisfied with your service and he's pleased. Right? So how one become Krishna consciousness is not just by mundane scholarship, right? Yeah, one must be fortunate enough to associate with a person who is in pure Krishna consciousness. Okay, so we all are associated with Prabhupada, who is in pure Krishna consciousness. Okay, then we can get. So how do we develop faith? There are 9 stages now in Bhakti. What are they? 9 stages. Okay, 9 types: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, all that. 9 stages. Kirti Mataji.
Mataji, Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prema, Mataji.
Very good. So, first is Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. What is to be done to get Shraddha? What are the 2 steps before Shraddha? These are the 9 stages. You're right. Perfect. Before Shraddha, there are 2 more stages. How do you develop faith? Then only we can go for Sadhu Sangha and Bhajana Kriya and all that. Na? But Shraddha, faith, how do we develop faith? 2 stages before that. Yes, Needu Badaji?
Mataji, by knowing the philosophy of Krishna, like reading Bhagavad Gita and knowing about him.
Before that, reading, will you develop faith? You need to have faith to read, no? Shruti and Smritis are, these are, yes, Devika Mataji? Huh? Listening, Shravanam. Yeah, for that also you should have little faith. Otherwise, we won't be. Okay, so how did we come to Krishna consciousness? What did we get?
Association.
Association, yes. In association, what did you do?
Mataji, hearing about the Lord, Mataji?
Hearing before that. Yes, association, Mataji, but in association, what do you do in association of devotees?
We hear about Krishna.
Yes. Only that, only hearing?
Serve
Sankirtan.
the devotees, Mataji.
Prasadam.
Serving the devotees.
Serving the devotees. Very good. So, first is Satam Kripa, then Mahat Seva. First, you got the mercy. Like you had a lot of Shiksha Gurus. Somebody who told you the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That mercy you got. No, so some mercy from the devotee. That's called Satam Kripa. Once you got the mercy, you start doing some service. Like some of you came as admins, co-hosts, teachers. Some kind of service you start doing, right? Service. So first you got the mercy. Like for example, like for most of you, Shiksha Gurus might be Navanishta Prabhu. We got the mercy of him. Like he gave the mercy. Now, once you got the mercy, you start serving him through online in so many ways. That is Mahat Seva. So Satam Kripa, Mahat Seva, then you develop Shraddha. Because of that blessings, you've done some service, and because of that, you get, so Ajnata Sukriti, this is called, okay, unknowingly. We didn't do it purposely. Unknowingly, you pushed a bucket of water and it went and watered the Tulsi plant. Unknowingly, you were traveling on an Ekadashi day and there was no food available. You had only fruits. So you were actually fasting on Ekadashi. So it became a Sukriti for you, Ajnata Sukriti, okay? So first you get the mercy of a devotee, then you start serving the devotee, then there is faith, Shraddha, okay? So a Krishna conscious person is a realized soul in the sense he's satisfied with devotional service. Therefore, he's realized knowledge by, he have realized knowledge by the grace of Krishna. And he's steady in conviction by strength. He is steady, fixed in the devotional service. That's called Nishtha. And he's self-controlled by the strength of his realized knowledge. And he's scholarly. He has so many philosophy, and mental speculation is not so good, okay? And here it is said the Bhagavad Gita is a science of Krishna consciousness, and it cannot be understood by mundane scholarship. So we are really fortunate to associate with one in pure consciousness. That was Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so I'll continue with one more session so that we can do half of this chapter. Let's try quickly go through. Okay, so further stages in the practice of yoga is mentioned here in 6.10, where the practice of Yoga Ruda stage is mentioned, right? How a person is always engaged, his body, mind, and self in samadhi, living in a place. Okay, these are the, so many slokas are coming up next, just showing that what are the different ways of doing Dhyana Yoga, like Ekantavas, living alone in a secluded place. Okay, so here it is said that Yogi Yunjita Sadam Atmanam Rahasisritaha Ekagiyata Chittatma Nirashir Apirigraha Ekaki. Ekaki means alone. So a transcendentalist should always engage his body, mind, and relationship, should live alone in a secluded place and control his mind. Yes, Neetu Mataji?
Mataji, I'm getting confused with the Yoga Ruruksha and the Yoga Ruda. In Yoga Ruda, only Bhakti comes. In Yoga Ruruksha, all Sakam, Nishkam, everything comes in that.
Comes. Because that's the beginning stage. Yoga Ruda is an advanced stage of Ashtanga Yoga where Bhakti really comes. Samadhi and all. Okay. So here it is said, what is the Yama? What are the rules? He has to live in a secluded place. Is that possible now in Kali Yuga? Actually, there is no secluded place. Even if there is a secluded place, we can't leave everything and go. So the first rule itself gets crushed in Ashtanga Yoga. We won't be living alone. We can't do that. Who's that who lived alone and got lost or fell down?
Bharat Maharaj.
Bharat Maharaj. Good. So Bharat Maharaj, he left everything and went to the forest and he got attracted to the deer, right? But it is said Bharat Maharaj didn't have any devotee association. If Bharat Maharaj had devotee association and if he got attracted to the deer that he forgot his devotional service, he was so attached to the deer, taking care of the deer, that at the end of the life, he died thinking about the deer, became a deer. Now, if he had some friends with him who are devotees, what will they say? Hey, what are you doing? You chant, no? Why are you so wasting your time with this deer? So the devotee association really helps us actually. This is like a metro train. What is it? Local train in Mumbai or Chennai. If you have to get down of the station, you just have to stand near the door. People will push you out. If you want to get in, just stay near the entrance and people will push you in. You don't have to really walk. They'll keep pushing you. So similarly, that's what devotee association is. Even if you don't want to get up at Mangalarati because your friends are getting up, there is devotees who are getting up and you can hear at 3:30, so much sound where the devotees are getting up, go for Mangalarati. And you feel like sleeping, you will feel so guilty. What am I doing? Let me also get up. On that feeling comes. Okay, in initial stage. Later on, you automatically gets up, but initially you need that push. So that's called devotee association, is very important. So living in a secluded place, Bharat Maharaj did that mistake, and he had to take 3 lives to go back home, back to Godhead, became Jada Bharat, right? Now you might counter a question me. You say Bhakti Yoga in 1 life, you can go back, but Bharat Maharaj didn't go back in 1 life. So what is your answer? He took 3 lives, no? First was Bharat Maharaj, then he became a deer, then he became Jada Bharat. But why? He could have gone back in 1 life.
He could not control his mind, Mataji.
Huh?
He could not control his mind.
Yeah, but that is the reason why he could not go back. Kirti Mataji.
Mataji, because our consciousness also, when we leave the body, that also matters.
Leave the
no?
body. Okay. Rajalakshmi.
Hare Krishna Mataji, he was thinking of a deer in his life, so that he became a deer. Otherwise, he could, if it was.
Yeah, that's because he didn't have any devotee association. Sharan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, when he got the life of Jada Bharat, he realized his mistake.
Yes.
So, and then he continued his devotional service. Even
And he gave
Goddess Kali
transcendental
helped.
knowledge, right, to whom? Does anyone know? Okay, Jada Bharat gave transcendental knowledge to Rahuguna Maharaj. Okay, there is a pastime coming. No, Rahuguna. So Rahuguna Maharaj got, Indradumna Maharaj was Gajendra. So this is Jada Bharat gave transcendental knowledge to Rahuguna Maharaj, and he became his guru. So that is Krishna's plan for Bharat Maharaj to take 3 lives, so that Rahuguna Maharaj can go back home, back to Godhead. So that is Krishna specially planned. And he's teaching us by example what is the effect of not having devotee association. Okay, so living alone in a secluded place, gone, and controlling the mind, yada chittatma, free from material desires and possessiveness. So all this we have problem. So impersonal people, they meditate on the Brahman aspect, and the yogis on the super soul. But only devotees, they worship Krishna and they go back home, back to Godhead, because they worship the personal form of the Lord. So practicing Ashtanga Yoga, it's difficult in the sense of living in a secluded place and all that. So it is said that constantly engage in their pursuits to come to the perfection sooner or later. Prabhupada writes, the first business of a transcendentalist is to keep one's mind away from mind always on Krishna. Concentrate the mind on Krishna is called Samadhi. Okay, this we have discussed already, Falgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. So 11 to 14 is about the different ways of doing this process. Shaucha deshe pratishtapya stiram asanam atmanaha nati ushritam nati nisham chilanchina kushotaram. So what are the different ways? First, we have to go in a secluded place and sit properly, sitting firmly. This is the asana. In a clean and sacred secluded place, not too high, not too low, on a kusa grass with a deer skin. Why do they put a deer skin when they do meditation? Those days. Now we can't even think about.
Mataji, deer skin is a repellent, mosquito repellent kind of a thing, Mataji.
Yes. So it will the deer skin will keep all the reptiles and repellents and all. It's like a repellent. It keeps all these snakes and reptiles and all away from you. So what happens? There is no danger, it is said. So for where will we go for deer skin now, right? And fixing the mind on one point, controlling the mind and senses, one should do yoga for purification of consciousness. Again, that's very difficult. And what is the position? Keeping the body and neck erect and head straight, being motionless and firm, staring steadily at the tip of the nose. How you can do that for a long time? No. It is said in yoga practice, you can't close your eyes because you tend to fall asleep. And meditating on the Lord's form, withdrawing the mind from the sense objects, being fearless, vow of celibacy, and making Lord Krishna the ultimate goal of life. So that is meditating the form of life, form of Krishna. But if you're meditating on the form of Krishna, that's fine, Bhakti Yoga. But if you meditate on Paramatma or chakras and light, then it is not going to be successful. So 11 to 12 refuse the so-called yoga societies in big cities, because big cities do not offer such circumstances as expected here for yoga practice. Now yoga has become a business, na? Gymnastic, Prabhupada says, just gymnastic. Okay, nothing else to do with the mind. Because one who is not self-controlled and disturbed in mind cannot practice meditation, Prabhupada says, therefore the best means for self-realization in Kali Yuga is chanting the holy name. Anyway, you don't have to go to a secular place. Even in a market or in a bus stand or railway station also you can chant. What is there? It doesn't matter. So it's always good to sit in one place and chant, okay, so that you hear the holy name. So celibacy, why? To help one completely abstain from sex indulgence in works, words, and mind at all times, under all circumstances, in all places, so that the process completely works. And Bhakti Yoga is so powerful, okay, that it is said Yamunacharya. Is it given? No. Okay. Yeah, and fearless, being fearless. Fearless means the very important quality of practicing Ashtanga Yoga is one cannot be fearless unless one is fully in Krishna consciousness. Because a Krishna conscious person knows, right? When the Gopas were running into the mouth of Aghasura, that snake, all were like happily going because they know Krishna is there to save them. That, okay, that kind of conviction of faith is not seen in us. Because we always, when we do something, we always have plan B. If Krishna doesn't protect me, I have these things. So once it was discussed that so many rape cases, so many things are happening. Why Krishna is not protecting those girls? And Krishna protected Draupadi? Because she's a devotee. Because she started chanting the Lord's holy name. Right? Doesn't mean devotees doesn't have any risk or anything. But that's karma also binding. Some bad karma coming back. But prarabdha karma. But still, Krishna protects his devotees, right? Because we call out for Krishna. And yeah. So yes, past life karma really plays, depending, that causes sufferings. Okay, so fear arises when living entity misidentify himself as a material body. Because of absorption in the illusional energy of the Lord Maya. When the living entity just turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his constitutional position as the servant of Lord. This is what we were doing, right? We were turning away from Krishna for so many janmas. And this bewilderment or potency is called Maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage in unallowed devotional service to the Lord under the bona fide spiritual master. Okay? So, the goal of Ashtanga Yoga is mentioned in verse 15. He says, Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasaha shantim nirvana paramam matsamastam adhigacchati. Thus, practicing constant control of the body, mind, and activities, the mystic transcendentalist, his mind regulated, attain the kingdom of God, the cessation of material existence. So it's very important. Ashtanga Yoga is actually not meant for high health improvement. Sometimes they do pranayam and all just to get rid of some health disease condition. But that's not Ashtanga Yoga is actually for. It's not to enter into void or magical jugglery or gymnastic. Okay. So in Bhakti Yoga, you can go to the Supreme Abode where there is no sun, moon, or electricity. Natad bhashede surya na shishango na pavaka yat katvani nevartande tad dhama paramam. And the Lord is always in his Goloka, eternally existing. Goloka eva nivishati akilatma bhuta. So qualification to reach to the God for any yogi is through proper understanding Krishna's position. Unless we understand, we won't be able to go back to Krishna. So 16 and 17 says, what is the importance of eating, sleeping, and recreation? Like what are we supposed to do? Okay, the 17th sloka says, Yuktahara viharasya yukta chedasya karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Very important sloka for all of us. It says, we should regulate a habit of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work. Okay, what are the 6 things which destroys our bhakti? Does anyone know? There are 6 things which will destroy our bhakti. This will come in nectar of instruction for you when you learn. With Prabhu.
One is Vacho Vegam.
No, that is to have disciples all over the world. Control. 6 things which destroy bhakti. After that, sloka comes. Kirti Mataji.
Mataji, I just remember a few, Mataji. Atyahara, Prayasa.
Very good. Yeah. So Atyahara means overeating, Prayascha, over endeavoring, or okay. Atyahara Prayascha, Prajalpa. Okay, Prajalpa means unnecessary talks. Then Atyahara Prayascha, Prajalpa, Niyamagraha. The 2 words, Niyamagraha, Niyama Agraha. Niyama Agraha means not bothered about rules. Niyama Agraha means too much attached. So Atyahara Prayascha, Prajalpa, Niyamagraha, Jana Sangascha Laulyam Cha. Jana Sangha means associating with non-devotees, greed, then Laulyam, greed for sense gratification. So these are 6 things which will destroy our bhakti. Shadvidi, Shadvir Bhakti Pranashyati. I think this is Nectar of Instruction, verse 2, right? Verse 2. You need to memorize all these slokas when you go to module 5. Okay. Atyahara Prayasasya Prajalpa Niyamagraha Jana Sangascha Laulyamcha Shadvir Bhakti Vinashya. So here it says Atyahara, the overeating. It says that half of our stomach should be filled with food and 1/4 should be water, 1/4 for air, actually, for good digestion. So regulation of body is essential in spiritual life, and it provides, that's why in diet also, Ekadashi is very important for a devotee. Diet wise also in spiritual wise. So don't eat too much or too little. Too much will cause what? Diabetes and too little tuberculosis and so it's better to eat only the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Prasadam is karma free. And don't sleep too much or too little. Best is 6 hours, not more or less. So regulation in habit of eating, sleeping, recreation will mitigate all material sufferings. And extravagance in eating, sleeping, defending, mating can block the advancement of our practice of yoga. So eating, if you say, which animal is better eater than human? In the sense, okay, no, in the sense, it doesn't discriminate what it eats. Which is that animal?
Pig, Mataji. Pig,
na? Hog, yeah. So the hog eats everything and anything in a filthy place, go to this muddy, slummy area and they eat all this, even stools. No, sir, they are eating in that way, but a human being who eats anything and everything is compared to a hog. So eating. Sleeping, which is the animal just goes for 6 months sleep.
Polar bear, Mataji?
Yeah, like in hibernation, right? The bears. So it could reach, it sleeps more than 6 months. What are we doing? We are also sometimes sleeping and sleeping and sleeping for so long time. And defending. We have to run when a dog chases us. But then animals have their own claws and everything to defend. So they do better than us. And mating. It seems a housefly can mate for so many times a day. So in all these things, aharam nidra bhayamaidanam cha samani edal pashubir naranam dharmohidesho adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubir samana. Aharam nidra bhayamaidanam. That is eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Samanyam, it's equal in case of animals and humans. In fact, they are more advanced than us. Advanced in the sense, more facilities than us. They might be sleeping in on the road, but we'll be sleeping in an air-conditioned room. But we're also sleeping, they're also sleeping. Both the same. And what is that which differentiates humans from animal is dharma, during devotional service. Dharme nahina, if there is no dharma, then pashubir samana. Pashu here is not just a cow, animal, like polished animal. Okay. So Ashtanga Yoga and Krishna conscious activities, you can compare. Okay, in Ashtanga Yoga, there's constantly engagement of body, mind, and self in relation to Supreme. Krishna conscious also same. But in Ashtanga Yoga, it's partial, imperfectly, indirectly Krishna conscious. It's partial. But in devotees are fully in Krishna conscious, it's perfect and direct relationship with God. And in Ashtanga Yoga, you have to live alone, right? But Krishna conscious, they stay in good devotee association and they avoid unwanted association. Asat Sangatyage ye Vaishnavachar, Mahaprabhu have said, you have to give up non-devotee association. And Ashtanga Yoga, they struggle hard to fix their mind on super soul. But a devotee can always think of Krishna and never forget him by chanting and by devotee association. And in Ashtanga Yoga, a prerequisite for practicing Yoga Rudha stages, perfect determination, one should not hunger after the unnecessary material things. But in Krishna consciousness, we know everything is Krishna's and Yukta Vairaga principle is applied. In Ashtanga Yoga, the sitting posture should be not too high, too little, deer skin, kusa grass, all that. Krishna knows such specification. Even if you walk and chant, it's okay. But it's better to sit in a place and chant, because when you walk and chant, what happens? Your half of your mind is into how you're walking, where you're walking, and all that. So you forget to hear Harinam. It's better to sit in one place and chant. And in Ashtanga Yoga, celibacy is must. But in Krishna consciousness, grihasthas can have children, Krishna conscious children, right? And in fearless, yes, Krishna conscious person is definitely fearless. And object of meditation in Ashtanga Yoga is Vishnu Murti. And in Krishna consciousness is the 200 Shyams in their form. So goal of life is Krishna in Krishna consciousness, right? And in Ashtanga Yoga, there is all cessation of material existence and everything. But a devotee is absorbed in Krishna's service, like Ambarish Maharaj, right? And eating, a yogi should eat only what is required to keep the body and soul together. Too much eating is not allowed, right? And food of goodness is eaten. In Krishna consciousness, they eat only prasadam, and Ekadashi fasting and all is there, right? On Krishna prasadam. And sleeping, if more than 6 hours, they become lazy and dreaming. And they follow Avyartha Kalatvam. Does anyone know what is Avyartha Kalatvam? Avyartha Kalatvam means a devotee uses his time 24 hours in Krishna service, like a pure devotee, okay? Like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Haridas Thakur. Avyartha Kalatam is one of the stages in a bhava stage. 9 symptoms of bhava, that is higher stage. In Nectar of Devotion, chapter 18 or 19, I think, it talks about the 9 symptoms of a person in bhava. In that, one is Avyartha Kalatam. Avyartha Kalatam means not wasting a single moment. Even if sleeping, a devotee think, oh, let me sleep so that tomorrow I can do much more service. Okay. And in Krishna consciousness, they work only for Krishna, no desire for sense gratification, therefore no material leisure. So 18 and 19, it says the yogi become perfect when his consciousness remained perfectly fixed in the self. Okay, so in this sloka, Prabhupada in the purport quotes about Ambarish Maharaj also. Okay, so all mental activities are disciplined, they are situated in transcendence, they're free of all material desires. That's for a pure devotee. Okay. Okay. So here, Prabhupada mentions about Ambarish Maharaj, who Ambarish Maharaj did devotional services by concentrating everything in Krishna service. Savai mana Krishna padara vinnayo vacham sivai kunta gunanuvandane karo harir mandira marjana adisho shrutim chagara achula sadgadove kundalinga alaya darshana adisho tadbritya gatra sparsha anga sangame granam chatatpada saroja saurabe shrimat tulasyara saram tadarpide Padau Harikshetra Padana Sarpane Shiro Rishikesha Pada Vivandane Kamam Chadase Natugama Kamni Uttamasloga Janashriya Riddhi. Savai Krishna Mana Krishna Padaravinda. Ambarish Maharaj has fixed his mind in Krishna's lotus feet. Vacham Sivaigunda Kudanevar. His tongue is used only to talk about Krishna. And Karo Harir Mandiramar. His hand is used to clean Krishna's temple. And ears are used to hear about Krishna. Bhagavatam compares the ears which doesn't hear about Krishna to what? There is somebody who's using their ear not to hear about Krishna. Such ears are compared to what? No? Don't know. Like it's useless, no? They're not hearing it. They're not using their ear to hear about Krishna. In fact, Rupa Goswami, Prithu Maharaj and all have said, I want millions and billions of ears and tongue so that I can chant and hear the holy name. But non-devotees who doesn't hear about Krishna's holy name and pastimes, it's compared to the holes of a snake. What happens when you put hand in a snake hole? It will bite. In the sense, it's of no use. And the tongue which doesn't chant Krishna's holy name is compared to a frog's tongue. What does a frog do? Why is it compared to a frog? Because it does croak, 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 croak and attract the snake. Nothing else. What does a frog do? Just making some sound to attract a snake. Snake in the sense death. No? And then the eyes which never saw Krishna's beautiful form is compared to, this comes in second canto. It's compared to the eyes seen in a peacock feather. You've seen a peacock feather. In the middle, it looks like an eyes, but it's of no use. That peacock feather can't see. And the head which doesn't bow down to Krishna is compared to a dead man's head. The dead man cannot bow down. And the leg which never walked to Krishna's holy place or temple, it's compared to a tree. The tree doesn't walk. So if we are not using our senses in Krishna service, we are also compared to all these things. So Prabhupada mentions about Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj here, saying that Ambarish Maharaj used all his senses in Krishna service. Okay, we'll stop with a couple of slokas. This here, it says realization of a yogi in perfection is because he experienced happiness. One experienced boundless transcendental happiness by direct experience of the soul and super soul within the heart. He becomes fixed up. One's focus never departs from truth. The highest gain is one thing, no greater gain is possible, and is unshaken. One remains unshaken even amongst difficulties, and is free from all miseries from material contact. Okay, so primary characteristics of yoga is one become gradually detached from material concepts. An actual samadhi, that means the yogi realizes super soul. Actual samadhi happens. So that is transcendental pleasure. Transcendental pleasure. Okay, that is what is happening in Krishna consciousness also. No, you get anandam buddhivartana, pratipadam purnam dadaswan. Every step there is happiness. So proper rise in the purport also. They're understanding soul and super soul as eternal individual identities, that we should understand that we are part and parcel of the Lord. Okay, but we don't understand the real purpose of Patanjali system. Patanjali system accept transcendental pleasure. Okay, and actually this part is not needed. Patanjali Yoga Sutra. The concept of oneness with the Supreme. This is what Mayavadis think. Kaivalyam. Kaivalyam Naragayade. They think that they want to become one with the Lord, which is wrong. The Mayavadis, they think like that. Okay. So yogi, once situated in the position of transcendence, he's transcendent to all mundane pleasure and he's never shaken from it. This is called stay high forever. Okay, have you ever heard about it? Stay high forever from Prabhupada. What is that? Stay high forever? No?
Yes, Mataji, we discussed in previous
we discussed
class.
in this class. Yeah, drugs and all. No, they were taking, the hippies were taking drugs, and finally, Prabhupada says that okay, when you take Harinam, you stay high forever. Good. So that's what happens here. And today's so-called yoga practice involves various sense pleasures, which is contradictory actually. The yogi is attracted by any of the byproducts of yoga, cannot attain the state of perfection. Conclusion is that Krishna consciousness is the best yoga. One gets full happiness. Occupation does not aspire after any other happiness. One makes best use of the bad bargain. And it's unshaken and fixed up. Okay. And one is always alert to his Krishna conscious duties. So in this sloka 20 to 23, Krishna says that is samadhi. Samadhi means actually the mind should be absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And one is never shaken, even in the midst of great difficulties. Like Prahalad Maharaj, he was in samadhi of the Lord. Why? Because when Hiranyakashipu, his father, was torturing him, he didn't bother what was happening outside because he was completely absorbed in Krishna's lotus feet. So that's how a devotee is. Even when Ambarish Maharaj, the Sudarshan Chakra came behind him because Durvasa Muni sent it, Ambarish Maharaj was not disturbed. Chitraketu Maharaj, when he was cursed to become Ritrasur, even he was not disturbed because pure devotees are always fixed up. They never, their faith is not shaken. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll go back to the breakout room discussion about the controlling mind. So who's representing from room number 3? Hare Krishna. So room number 3 is Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
As we discussed, Mataji, it is very difficult to control the mind, but it is possible to control. As we have seen in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about mind control to Arjuna in chapter 6.6. So we can control our mind by letting go attachment, liberate oneself from desires, fear, and anger, freeing oneself from bondage to the thoughts. Like the person who cannot control all these things, like the mind, one simply have to become a real devotee of the Lord. We have to live such a way that we always remember Krishna. We never forgets Krishna, and we can adjust our life so our every action is in service of Krishna under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. Mataji. And as the Devika Mataji said that we have to follow the 8-8 rule, which is a 8-hour duty, 8-hour Krishna service, and 8 hours sleeping.
Yes.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, what about room number 2?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm Sharan.
Nice.
I will speak on behalf of room number 2.
Nice.
Here, Mataji, as the question asked, methods of mind control, practical applications. I can see that the first point is by approaching a bona fide spiritual master, he will guide us and deliver us through how to engage our mind and control. The first point is reading Bhagavad Gita. As also stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 6.242, Hari Nam Eva Kevalam, which in this day and age of Kali, it will only deliver us and help us in controlling our mind, eating prasadam because we are what we eat, and eating sattvic food, having sattvic lifestyle will engage our mind in doing sattvic work. Having devotee association, because like how we discussed, because devotees are always in samadhi, engaged in Krishna consciousness, they will deliver us and help us in controlling our mind. Meditation, mantra meditation will surely help us, and also engaging our everything like dovetailing our mind in book distribution, preaching, sadhana, self-study of the scriptures, and also how Prahlad Maharaj had said us thousands of years ago, Shravanam Kirtan Vishnu Smaranam, that is relevant even today, which will help in controlling our mind and engaging our lifestyle in Krishna consciousness in skillful activities. We give everything for Krishna. For example, cooking, prasadam for Krishna, do kirtan, bhajan, Vaishnava bhajans for Krishna, and also using matter in Krishna consciousness. Like, for example, Srila Prabhupada had dictaphone. He used that in the service of Krishna. Similarly, in this age, we have smartphones. So we can use that in the service of Krishna, in preaching, etc., whatever we are good at. And also, last but not the least, we can also engage ourselves in counseling sessions, like how temple provides, ISKCON temple provides counseling, so that vulnerable children are taken forward in the right path of Krishna consciousness. And last, Mataji, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And that in that only everything will be under control, even our mind. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very nice. What about room number 1?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
The practical way to keep the mind is with abhyasa, Mataji. I mean, we have to keep doing it as a practice, and then we'll be able to control the mind. Then the second point is writing notes about what you have done, how you can keep your activities engaged, and keeping a journal of what we can do about Krishna consciousness. The third one is association of devotees. Fourth one is eating prasadam. Then next is keeping the mind always busy in Krishna activities. Then reading scriptures. Then is distribution of books, service of deities, then preaching, then creating awareness, then visiting pilgrimage centers, and last is listening to Harikatha always, Mataji.
Nice. So to sum up, actually, to sum up, the best way is actually to follow the ABCD of ISKCON. I mean, of spiritual life, right? A for association, B for books, C for chanting, and D for diet. So if we do this, we have nice association. We are reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we chant, and we take Krishna Prasad. Then the mind is automatically controlled. And as you all said, he has different techniques. Very nice. The practical method of controlling the mind. Okay.
In even chapter 3, Prabhupada says that while eating prasadam, our memory finer tissues will get purified. So our mind will get purified that way by eating prasadam.
Prasadam, yes. That's why Prabhupada always make sure that give prasadam to everyone, non-devotees, everyone. So that slowly your consciousness changes, and prasadam will definitely, it's very powerful. We really don't know the value of prasadam, but the prasadam can do wonders actually. So your advancement comes when we actually take prasadam. Okay. So any questions, or we can close? So please start preparing for closed book exam. Okay.
Mataji, what is the date?
Yeah, I didn't tell the date. Like today's 18th. 25th, we'll complete chapter 6. So Jan 1st, you need time. You all need time, 1 week time to prepare, or can it be on 8th or 1st?
8th is fine. 1st would be like after immediately, like it's a new year.
That's it. And also we have our new batch starting, like 18 days course, 43rd batch starting on 1st. Okay, so 8th, we can keep on 8th. And also any 3 slokas from first 6 chapters. Okay, be ready. So might be after that, might be 15th, we can have sloka exam. And 8th, we can have the written closed book. Okay, we'll try to finish before that. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for joining. We're done.
Mataji, exam will be for 1 hour, Mataji.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Okay, Mataji.
Just 2-3 lines is enough. Like very short, 10 questions. Any 8 can be answered. Okay, and you have to upload it into a form, the Google form. So if you have technical issues, you can please take help from anyone, or else we have some admins, co-host, who will help you to upload the file. Okay, Hare Krishna.
We have to write exam on the paper, Mataji?
Yeah, better write, because what happened when we allowed to type, so many have copy pasted from database, which was, you can actually make out. If you're really a technical person, you can make out that it's been copy pasted from database. So which is like a little upsetting because we don't expect that. Even if you don't know much philosophy, you don't get the pass mark. Still, if you pass, if you are sincere. But if somebody has copied and then got first rank, what is the use? So we don't promote such devotees. So better we have handwritten. That's better. Okay, I think we can close. Okay, Vansha Kalpadru Pasha Kapasindhi Chaitanya Jai Shri